much better than this.
Today, I've got something really cool. I've got an Engwe X26 to review, and I can't wait to get this thing put together so we can go out riding tomorrow. Hello! There you go. My riding crew just showed up, so I gotta speed it up and get the bike assembled. That's pretty. Much better. Not the lightest bike in the world. Looks good though.
I love the colors. It's bigger than I thought it would be. It's big. It's a big bike.
So that's a 48 volt, 19.2 amp hour battery, 921 watts. Maximum charging current is 5 amps. It comes with a 3 amp charger. Charging time is listed as 8 hours, so not quick. To open it, you slide that forward, pull that open. I guess you gotta get it broken in. Not that bad. So that is how you access the battery. I need the key to get it out, that's why. Oh, it comes right out. So some people were having a lot of trouble getting it out of there. Comes right out. But I can certainly see what they were talking about when people were complaining that it rattles around a little bit. We'll find out. That is a 48 volt, 10 amp hour battery, producing 480 watts of power. Once again, the maximum charge is 5 amps. Your discharge current is a maximum of 15. Not that bad. There we go. Now it's on there. All right. Definitely. Whew. I'm 6'2". That big knot right there it's pretty close. I've got the tires pumped up to 19 PSI. Hooked the cable to the main battery. You have 2 batteries. The one on the inside here is your backup battery. You got your main battery. Go ahead and depress that power switch right there. Hit the power button. Very, very slick. Nice display. Fairly bright. Good colors to it. Horn. Looks like there's probably 2 options to try and do this. I could try to fold this thing in half and then He-Man it up here, which doesn't seem like all that great of an idea. And then there is this walking feature, and maybe if I can get it to work for me, I can lift it up as it pushes the rear forward. You just hold the minus sign down. 1, 2. I guess I need to turn the bike on for that to work. Hey, that's not bad. All right. Well, that at least lifted the front of it up. Now, I need to figure out the back of it up. Not so bad. All right, let's go. What do I do with my helmet? I don't have it on my head. All right, try this again. That is your throttle.
Or pull it back to start it, or?
You thumb it down right here.
Got it.
Right? These are your gears, these are your brakes. This is the rear brake, that's the front brake. You ready? Just an easy ride with my daughter today, just checking things out, learning the bike a little bit. Had a little shakedown ride on it yesterday where I got a little bit muddy. This is a fairly flat area that we're on right now, and the assist, I've got it on assist number 3, and it's doing just fine. It's plenty powerful, and when I pedal, it's giving me a little surge of 700 watts and then settling back down. And this is all coasting right now. Bike's handling very well. Eats the bumps up pretty good. On assist level 3, it backs off the power to the point that as I was going 19 miles an hour, it's down to 68 watts. At 15, it's given me 250 to 300 watts, just kind of back and forth. I don't know what kind of a giant would be required to have to put this seat all the way up, because I'm 6'2", and I've only got it up a few inches of the adjustments that it's got there, and I really could probably put it down an inch. I'm going to slow down here so Lauren can catch up next to me and ride next to me. Now, if you press the plus or minus, it'll adjust how much assist it gives you. If you felt like you wanted to pedal a little bit more, you could go on your left, that little pad that's got a plus at the top and a minus at the bottom. If you hit the minus, it'll take it down just a little bit. It'll take it down one level. And so you'll feel more pedaling. But one of the whole points of it is, since you don't want your joints to hurt at the end of the ride, you want to make sure that you're getting plenty of assistance from that thing. Got a car coming up on us. Got another one, I believe. All right, so I'm down in power assist 2. Now, I've been riding assist. One of the things about this bike that's a little bit different from some of the other e-bikes that I've had a chance to ride is that it only gives you assist in this level, and if you hit the accelerator, you get nothing. So it's only assist. If you want to change that, you hold the I button in the middle here down, and it switches you up. They call this normal. So normal gives you no assist, and you can ride the accelerator. And the accelerator in this level is very minimal. So I could kick it up to level 5, and it's going to give me a lot more accelerator. But it's never really, it's not a real boost. You know, it kind of tops out. Now, I know that there's also a cruise control feature available. Now, the sport mode's pretty good. The only thing I would like to have a mode that you could both have an assisted pedal when you wanted to, or hit the throttle when you wanted to without having to switch modes. Yeah, riding across here with more suspension is definitely nicer. It soaks it up. You can tell this is not a hardtail bike. It's a very large bike, but it's not difficult to control. You know, you've got that electric motor, so it's certainly giving you enough power to be able to maneuver around and get around things. As soon as you start to pedal, it definitely gives you a little oomph. So that's not a problem. How you feeling?
One of the best things about riding together is the random conversations that you'll have.
What's a Tamagotchi? Is it like the little, you take care of a little pet?
Yeah.
Yeah. How you feeling?
Hot.
You about ready to turn around, or you want to try to go up to the reservoir?
I'm about ready to turn around.
Okay. Let's turn around and head back. Well, it is a beautiful morning up here. I am getting ready to take this thing back out on the road. I have over 50 miles on this bike. Unfortunately, I keep losing my video. I've had some camera problems. But in the process of putting these 50 miles on this bike, I have really come to like it. I'll tell you, when I first got it and checked out the amount of play that was in those back shocks, I was a little disappointed because it seemed like it should be a little bit more. But as I've ridden it and gone over a lot of different terrain, I'm pretty impressed with the way that it soaks stuff up. It's not a downhill bomber, but it is definitely a triple suspension, and you can feel it. It's a lot different than riding a hardtail across these roads. So instead of sitting here and doing a whole lot of talking about it, I think I'm gonna jump out here on the road real quick just before we go. This is the main battery. I just charged it up last night. I'm gonna pull it off the reserve battery, plug it in, snap it in, boom, done, ready to go. It is a folder. It does have foldable pedals. For me, the folding feature is not something that I really care about. If you had an SUV or a car with a big enough trunk, you could fold it in half and stick it in there. The folding pedals would help make it a little more compact, and you could take it somewhere. Keep in mind, it's 92 pounds. So it's kind of a big beast to be moving around like that. I have found this to quickly become my favorite bike to jump on and go for a ride, and my biggest reason for that is the sheer size of it. I am 6'2", 225 pounds. This has a 400-pound payload. It does weigh 90 pounds, but it's got plenty of power to get you around where you need to go. It's plenty maneuverable enough, and it fits really well. The length between the seat and the crank post is longer than I've seen on other e-bikes. The length between the seat and the handlebars is also significantly long, so that you don't have an issue where you're cramped up on a smaller bike. I know the one size fits all thing, yeah, it doesn't always fit all. Let me put some pedal assist on, take it up to 5 since I've got a big hill coming up. Here we go. Got a little power assist. I'm going to work the gears here. So this bike is not as torquey as some of the others. You're not going to get as much climbing capability, even though it's got a cadence sensor. You're going to be putting a little bit of your legs into it. But for this hill, it's plenty capable. So I charged the battery up. We're at 100%. We're going to take this field in sport mode just to show what it's capable of on throttle only. I'm not going to pedal. Here we go. $12 miles an hour, 11 miles an hour, 14. Let's hit that again with a little bit of speed. See what happens. What could go wrong, right? Let's do a little speed to it and see what happens. Well, that was fun. You can see the pedal folded up for me. Got a little pine cone in the derailleur guard. That's all right. I think we lived. Things not to do again. We seem to be okay. Everything's still rocking. Hey, if you can't drop the bike once and get back on it, it ain't a good bike. All right, let's get out here and do something. 20 miles an hour. You gotta remember that when you hold that throttle down for about 10 seconds, you're on cruise control. So when you let off thinking you're gonna slow down, you're either gonna have to flick the throttle again or hit the brakes real quick. Let's find out. All right, we are locked in cruise control. We're doing 29 miles an hour. If I give a quick tap on the brakes, cruise control comes off, and we start to slow down. Hello, cows. So it's got plenty of pep, plenty of top end. It's not as torquey as a lot of bikes, but it's a little bit faster. But unfortunately, there's no throttle on demand. There's throttle in sport mode, there's throttle in standard mode, but you don't get throttle on demand. Now we're going to climb this hill in power assist, and you're going to see that by the time I get to the top, I'm going to be in my big ring and I'm going to be pedaling hard because it just doesn't give quite as much torque to get up this hill as I would like to see. But this is not a tiny hill. And I'm in the woods. That was me looking down and not looking where I'm going. Now I'm walking the walk of shame. All right, get back on here. You got to keep your eyes on where you're riding. I started looking down because the power cable was touching my leg. I wanted to readjust it and I drove off the road.
The only reason the power cable was touching my leg is because I pulled it out when I dumped the bike earlier.
You can see I have a beautiful place to ride. Little bunny rabbit jumping into the chicory on the side of the road. So I'm going to switch over to sport mode, give it some throttle to get up this hill. Now it's starting to run out of juice there. If I just give it a little pedaling, add to it, it's quite easy. Now it's on cruise control and it's going to start accelerating. So either you want to tap it or hit the brakes to break that cruise control.
This is a beautiful scenic area, but something to consider when you're riding is that these fat tires make a lot of noise. And with that and the combination of the wind, I didn't even notice that there was a vehicle behind me.
We'll hit the throttle and see how far up this hill we can go before I have to start cranking along and giving it some of my leg power. Not bad. I think when I dumped it, I turned the handlebars a little bit, but I'll fix that when I get home. Not a big deal. That looks like a pretty fun way to start your morning. A little horseback ride. Tap those brakes, come off that cruise control so I don't end up going 40 miles an hour down this dirt road. Now that is a view, isn't it? Wow.
On a ride like this, there's plenty of opportunity to hit the brakes and ride them for a while. I never felt like there was an issue of it overheating or that the brakes were not substantial enough to bring the bike to a stop or control it. I'm supposed to be doing an evaluation ride, but it's hard not to let this just turn into a joy ride and go heavy on the throttle because I really enjoy riding this bike.
Top end for cruising along. If you can cruise on this road, you'd be able to cruise in the city with no problem. Maybe if you were in San Francisco, some streets like that, you might give it a challenge, but I'd say most places in America, if you've got the ability to ride a bike, this thing would be a great commuter if you're a bigger guy. There we go, let's hit this hill. Get as much as we can before I have to jump to the big rings on the back. That seemed nice and easy, and this is a tough hill. Much better than this. All right, let's do a 0 to 20. This is relatively flat. See how long it takes from a dead stop. And go. This is power assist 5. 10 miles an hour, 15, 20. Test those brakes out too, no problem with the brakes. Now, left a little bit of tire mark on the road. That'll give you an idea where we hit 20, because we're gonna come back here to about the same spot. All right, and from about the same spot, we're gonna switch it over to power assist 5, and I'm going to pedal from 0 to 20. Actually, we're just going to take it up to top speed here. See what we can do. And we hit 20 at about the same spot. 25. So this is kind of telling. We're at 28. All right, let's see if we switch over and go to sport mode. How fast will this thing go on a nice straightaway like this? 20, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and it might be this slight downhill that's letting you get up that fast, but we are rolling along. So, provided that my video doesn't disappear like the last 3 or 4 have, this will be my final ride for the review on the Engwe X26. All in all, I'd say I'm glad that I took it out for more than just 1 or 2 rides, because the more I rode it, the more I liked it. It fits me very well. It's a comfortable bike to ride. It's got plenty of power. Downsides, I would say, it's not real torquey. The upside is it's got a lot of top end, and that triple suspension soaks up the bumps. It's very nice. As I said, not a downhill bomber. If you are a 5'9" person, this is not going to be your bike. This bike is tall, it's big, it's heavy. But if you're a 6-foot guy, 5'11", somewhere like that, you're going to fit on this thing really well. If you're 6'4", you're going to be more comfortable on this thing than you would on a lot of e-bikes. If you think this might be the bike for you, any discounts that might be available are going to be in the description down below. Thanks for riding along. Come on back and check out some other reviews that we're going to have coming up. And come on back and check out the things we're doing up here on the farm. See you then.